Hey guys, good to see y'all. Hey Marcus, Ian, Cyril. Hey, welcome Cyril. Hey Mama, Joanne. All right, guys. So what we're talking about today? I want to design some monsters. So I've already been doing a good bit of layout this morning. I went to deliver the first draft, the first tranche, I guess, the first wave of monsters in the Monsters and More book. I did just update the Dropbox links, the download links, for people who got the expansion. So people who already have it, if you just back the expansion tier, I uploaded just the new subclasses. Hey Michael, good to see you. I uploaded just the new subclasses, so that people who've been asking about that, you have that now. So let's just get right into it, you guys. Let me show you what I've been working on. So we've got the first few pages. So like it's not. So like the initial. Hey Jeremy, the cerebellum crunchers, the gray matter gobblers. Yes. I've got. Yeah, we'll work on the name. We'll work on the name. But yeah, I'm working on the initial layout and stuff. So we've got just some of the initial things, and it's like there's gonna be maybe this many, maybe one or two more monsters, maybe this many monsters on a single page, and then there's going to be the additional tactics and lore and like a little loot table and that kind of thing. So I don't want to overpack each page with too many monsters. But we've got a good number of monsters already. Are already sort of set out. So here we're working on the and the layout's going to change. Everything's going to change. It's just so that people can sort of have access to the initial monster tranche. Yeah. So I've been working on laying out some of these things. I've got a lot to do there. But I think today probably what we're going to do we're probably just going to be working on doing some more design. So I've got some rough notes here. Corpus callosum jumpers, brain brunchers. You guys, let me see. I think I might have. So here is an early mock-up of the new GM guide, and I think instead of black and white, it's going to follow the monsters book. It's gonna be it's gonna sort of fade into the sky a little bit better in a more interesting way, I think. All right, so here we have our monsters, just our working document. We've got a working document, and what I've hey locked in. Hearts are. Can someone cast that 3 times 1 turn and give 1 hero 3 reactions? Yep. If they really want to. If they don't want to take a turn, I mean, like that's a turn. Like you can be an action battery for someone if you want to, but that might not be the most fun way to play. But you certainly could. Hey, you made it! You made it! Super. Okay, so the Mistworm is going to be a big solo creature in the swampy area. So I was thinking about how to have like, so I want, so the solo monsters take like maybe 5 to 10 times as long as making a regular monster. But I think because I want them to play like really, really uniquely and like, oh, this is something I have to figure out, not just a guy that goes after each player and like, just smacks them. So I wanted this guy to be like the mist is not just a mist, but it's like an illusory mist. So I think that kind of thing is really, really cool. I want it to be like a somewhat illusory kind of thing. Let me just. That's not working. Maybe I have to move this. Again. There we go. I'll crop my hair out just a little bit. So if the mist is like a bit illusory, I think that would be really cool. We've been doing a lot of things with like will saves or strength saves or dex saves, not a lot with int saves. So I want to do some illusion stuff and reward the smart people who can see through it. Okay, so I think it's gonna be a level 9 solo, and a level 9 solo should have How are the playtesting solos? How are playtesting the solos, especially high levels? Yeah, the math throughout is all based on those tables and those charts. So the math is solid throughout. So I really don't need to test the math of it. Just like, how does it feel to play? Is it fun to play? Is basically what I'm testing, Susan. Okay, so a level 9 solo should have 250 points if it has medium armor, but this guy's going to have like lots of illusions and things to sort of make up for that. So instead of armor, he's just going to have hit points and like this cool ability or something similar to this. This one is still being worked on. So Mist Veiled, when damaged, fade away into the mist, reappear elsewhere at the end of the turn. So essentially, he can only be attacked once per turn. He can only be attacked once per turn, which I think is kind of a cool, unique way to do it. So you get one good hit. You get one good hit per turn. At the end of your turn, so the mechanics that I'm thinking, so I don't have the mechanics worked out yet, but like there's so this thing makes mist, and every round it does like it changes what the illusion is. So it makes you think like you're choking, so it silences you, can't cast spells. So like for that round you have to do something else. Or grasping, like it makes you think that you're grappled, so you can't move. Or burning, like so it does different illusory things. Then idling mist, like it makes you choose your targets randomly, or like you have to save, or your targets were chosen randomly this round. Or like blinding. So I like that kind of thing where it's not really attacking you directly, it's tricking you and doing different things like that. I kind of like that. But because it's so different, we have to be very, very clear with what's going on. I don't know that we need 5 different kinds of mist as well. So that's something that I'm thinking about. Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy. That also features mist dragon that uses illusion move. That's cool, Joman. I've never heard of that. If you have a bullet point or two you'd like to share about what was cool about that, feel free to share it. Illusory minions, but the players don't know which is which. Yep. The Oni sort of does that kind of thing because they're supposed to be like a really tricksy shapeshifter kind of thing. Possibly. Rewarding smart characters. Possibly. So for in the GM guide, there is a table. Is it for these? I think it was for the vampire guy. For one of them, every time you fail it, reduce the DC by 1 or something like that. So there's a few different ways we could do that. So I don't want people to like continually be failing it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Low level memory reading skills. Yeah. Yeah, that could be cool. So I think we might come back to the Mistworm. I wanna show you a little bit of like how like starting from scratch. So Vesta the Beauty. So this is one of the creatures that is alluded to in the GM guide in the section of the Growling Marshes. So Vesta the Beauty. I'll go ahead and read it. There's not much there. But I'm trying to flesh out things a little bit more. A cunning witch skilled in illusions and enchantments. She bears delicate tattoos that shift with magic. She plans to unleash a curse to rot the necromancer's undead minions from within. However, she must contend with the jealous Blackwater hags. I've got a bunch of hags already, which are super duper fun. Fixed Indy, hey. So I want to walk you through how I would do this. So the first thing I do is Vesta the Beauty, like it's a hag. Her thing might be like, so just conceptually, what is she going to do? She's going to make creatures ugly, or maybe not. That's probably not the word for it, but like she could do something with like she curses the heroes and does something to make them ugly. I'll be right back.
STABS. He's the one who likes us best. Stab stream. Got anything for me to stab? There we go. Sandwiches. Stabs. You're a cool guy.
Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm trying to think of the vibes first. So this is, it's hag. It's gonna curse you. There's a really funny video from Worthy Kids. I don't know, it might have some bad stuff in it, but it's pretty funny from what I recall of like that the witches on Tinder. So that was kind of funny. So like the ugly hag making herself look beautiful by stealing other people's beauty. I like that. I really like that sort of idea. So let's use it. So I've got some notes here. Let's go ahead and type up. Let's go ahead and type it up. So like this is like the initial idea, and then now we'll go to sort of step 2. So she has a thing, steal beauty. Allies are frightened of you and require a will save to help, interpose, or target. Okay. Make beautiful. B-U-T-I-F-U. Make beautiful. Okay, so is it going to be called this? Is it going to work exactly like this? No, probably not, but we're just sort of getting vibes down. Okay, so make beautiful, or I was thinking maybe something like, one second, guys. Get a phone.
Here we go. Sandwiches. Stabs. You're a cool guy. You're so tall compared to them all. Stealthy. Hiding. So good at stealth.
Sorry, guys. Lots of phone calls today. Gruntilda. Okay, so the idea was so either make beautiful or like all eyes on me. Like she's an old ugly hag, but like she has this magic, this charming magic that makes everybody look at her, and she benefits. She steals other people's buffs and things, and she makes them afraid of you. It's like however you would feel about her, like she sort of swamps that. Like that is a unique thing and really cool. I think really cool feature. Hey, Nirvana. Yes, I did get your message, by the way. I'm just, yes, I am busy. What about the illusion of damage? Your assessment, you could reveal. So like illusory damage is just psychic damage, I think. So like you come out of it like you're not actually burned or whatever, but you're just mentally damaged. It's breaking your head. Yep, exactly. Yeah, Edward, thank you so much. Good to see you, man. If you could please leave a like. Likes do help. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, having multiple ways to solve it is a great thing. So like the monster does what the monster does, and then the heroes can like interact with it and solve it in any way that they like. Yeah, maybe not exactly literally ugly, but like this is the idea. Yeah, sorry. Auto share in Discord for the messages in and out. Okay, great. Yeah, I saw the little megaphone icon for the first time today, and I clicked it. I was like, I wonder what this does. So. It's been a long time since I've seen Stardust, but yeah, Hocus Pocus, yeah, that kind of fiction. Okay. Okay, so what does she do? Any negative condition Vesha gains stolen beauty, or maybe hagify. All Eyes on Me is the name of a Bard feature. Yeah, I can't keep track of everything that Wizards of the Coast does. You're planning on designing more solo encounters with more than one non-minion enemy? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's Narbles in his stack of friends. And there's all the Titans and stuff. They're gonna have multiple parts, multiple pieces. Okay, so so Vesta the Beauty, so she is going to be fighting against Veil Undying. And Veil is already in the it's already in the GM guide, so let's see what level he is. I don't think he's too high. I think he's level 8, level 9. Okay, he's level 9. So if he's level 9, what level would Vestia the Beauty be? I think she'd probably be level 8. She might be level 8. Level 8. Odious center of attention. Is the evil laugh mandatory when saying Hagify? I don't know. I just found that to be funny. It took myself by surprise. Okay, so now that we know what her level is, so why can't so the hags and the necromancers of this area, they're always fighting with each other. Why don't the necromancers why don't the hags just come and defeat the necromancers? Because the necromancers, they're higher level, right? They're higher level, but the hags, they have coven, so they have the numbers. The necromancers, there's fewer of them, but they have like the zombie hordes and stuff. But like it's they like one is stronger, the other is faster. They wanted this and there's that. So like that, I think that kind of interplay makes it kind of fun. So now that we know her level, we can figure out her stats. So if she's level 8, she's definitely not gonna have medium armor. So at level 8, with medium armor, she'd have 225. Are we muted? How long was I muted for? Sorry about that if I was muted for a while, guys. What's me? And yeah, one of the animated objects that I made is an animated mirror, and it does some cool stuff. It does some cool stuff, just like a minute. Okay, I gotta be careful about that. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we need her to do 8, 15, or 30 damage. 15 to 30 damage. I'm just looking at the legendary monster builder chart here in the GM guide. We want to do 15 to 30 damage per turn. And let's go and look at our other hags for inspiration. Let's look at our other hags for inspiration. So we have the Sea Hag. So Sea Hag, Green Hag, and Night Hag. Blackwater Eye. Once per round, when damage, frighten. Okay, easy enough. So that is sort of like her survivability thing. Sick Claws, 1d8 plus 4 twice. And then on crit, drowning. Ooh, what in the world is drowning? Silenced. Okay, that makes sense. Suffer 1 wound at the end of your turn while drowning. Or you can spend 2 actions retching to end. It's cool because she's a sea hag and she's like doing cool stuff. Bloodied, 25 hit points. Drown ye! Heroes gain drowning on a failed DC 12 strength save. There you go. So like pretty simple, but like she does some cool stuff. She does some unique stuff, and like a thematic for the Sea Hag. Green Hag has Naughty Child. When crit, ignore damage from the exploding dice. Deal that much damage back at the attacker. Back at the attacker. Back to the attacker. Back. I think it should be to the attacker. Deal that much back to the attacker. Sweets for my dairy. Move an enemy 6 spaces, then Sick Claws. 1d12 + 5 on damage, poisoned. And then Bloodied, Bitter Curse. Heroes are hobbled. And this should not be this thing. This should be that thing. Heroes are hobbled on a failed DC 13 will save. What does hobbled mean? Half speed, and all reactions cost +1 action. Like you've been aged for the Green Hag. Judd. Judd. Guess you, Judd. How's it going, man? And we have the Night Hag. So each one of them has like a thing that they do when crit, a thing that they do like when they're attacked, and then a thing they do when they're bloodied. So they're not legendary, but they're semi-legendary. Like they've got stuff going on. And they apply these cool, flavorful conditions. Night Hag Gloam. Once per round. When damaged, teleport adjacent to an enemy and fright them. Boo! An Umbral Curse. 1d8 plus 10. Attacks twice. On crit, terror. Judd. Judd. Yep, pseudo-legendary, yep. Umbral Curse, on crit, terror. Attack with disadvantage, on a miss, damage self. And then frighten and terror, so she can frighten and terrify. So she's a doubly extra spooky. They can stack, and I want to avoid like just giving disadvantage, because like just disadvantage, like it does draw out combat. It slows things down, so it makes the monster more survivable if they have few hit points. And Night Hag being level 10, she should have like 118 hit points. Oh, she does have 120 hit points, so she should probably have a bit fewer hit points. That is what I intended. So we'll go ahead and give her. We'll go ahead and give her just 100 hit points. I was going to show how, because she has this ability to make her more survivable, then we don't need to have as many hit points. I was going to show you guys that, but I kind of messed it up. Okay, so she should have a bit fewer hit points because she has these cool abilities, these cool spooky abilities. Okay, so the thing with attacking with disadvantage or frighten or whatever, like it does only slow combat down. It makes the monster a little bit more survivable, but it largely slows combat down, and that's not good. But if you add something that on miss, now the monster is making progress, and the heroes aren't. Okay, so like if you hit, the heroes are making progress. If you miss, the monster is making progress. So either side is making progress. So when you're designing things like that, every game action moves towards the goalposts, right? So that is very, very good. We want that to happen. And then terror and frightened, they can stack. They could stack, meaning like if you're rolling a 1d6 thing, you will have to roll 3d6 now. I'll go ahead and do it. Let's see what we get. Ooh, I got a 4, a 1, and a 1. So I'm gonna miss, and then like whatever damage I was going to deal to her, I deal to myself. So it's not gonna be much, but it's gonna be enough to like increase her damage just a little bit. And she should be dealing 30 damage. She should be dealing 30 damage per round. And then, so she's actually dealing, yeah, a little bit less than 30 damage, roughly 30 damage. So it'll increase her damage just a smidge. Just a smidge. Okay, so that is sort of the cadence of the rest of the hags. So let's see what Vesta the Beauty should do. Yeah, it hurt itself in its confusion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they come in a coven. Yeah, they would typically, like in the lore. Okay, so let's see. Hagify. It does lockdown. In the core rules, you will learn about cover towards the beginning. Right there. Cover and hiding. A creature mostly obscured from line of sight, standing by a tree, a larger ally, a knocked over table in poor lighting, etc., has cover and imposes disadvantage on attacks against them. That's it. A creature completely obscured from view has full cover and cannot typically be targeted by an attack. That's it. So cover or full cover. Still beauty equals mother, maiden, crone. I like all of those. Disadvantage on will, still beauty. Okay, so her small attack should deal. Okay, so it should be. Let's go to the charts. Copy of this. So we want her to deal. Let's say 14 damage, and all of the other hags, I think, do the D8, D12, D8. Can I make this one D8? 1d12 plus 5. It would be nice if they all just dealt D8 damage. Right, give me 1 second, guys. Level 7. So level 7 should be dealing 24 damage. Okay, 2, 24. 2d8 plus 3, 1d8 plus 7. Let's see, 1d8 plus 7. 1d8 plus 7. Okay, so when crit, ignore damage from the exploding dice, deal that much damage back to the attacker. So that is going to deal like some moderate amount of extra damage. So we can deal like 2 fewer damage per attack. I think that's okay. But I am seeing something here that she's a bit of a non-bow, and I don't love that. So do we want to be poisoning them if I get a cool ability that that triggers when they crit? I don't know. On damage, so we're poisoning them, so they're going to attack with disadvantage. So they're not likely. We're not likely that we're going to be crit. We'll come back to that. Let's keep working on Vesta the Beauty. Yeah, that's cool. So I sort of avoid Charmed as a condition, like at least as an in combat condition, like it's perfectly fine condition for like outside of combat, like while you're role playing, but in combat it does really really weird things. So I just mechanical, I don't love charmed as a condition. Have the damage reflection on critical miss also? Yeah, I think that could be cool when crit. Yeah, so maybe it's just not when crit. So when damaged, when crit, when damaged. So maybe it could be when damaged. Damage reflect the primary die damage back at the attacker. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So they all do something when damaged. I don't hate that. How do you handle a hero playing the bird ants which don't fly all the time? I mean, hey, that's cool. Like, let them do their fun thing. That said, at the end of the core rules, there is a there is an optional rule that you would probably want to utilize. Page 54, toward the back of the core rules. I had the high ground. Taking a crit while at height may cause a character to fall down. Okay, so if they're flying super duper high and raining arrows down upon people, have someone with a sling, a D4 weapon. Like if they crit, then they fall. They're going to take damage, and then they're going to land prone. So it's going to damage them. It's going to be embarrassing. They'll fall prone. Then everybody else can gang up on them. So maybe they fly only in certain circumstances, which feels cool. And then in other circumstances where it's dangerous, like it's something that they can do sometimes, but not all the time. But if it's something that like is always the best option, then it's not really it's not a fun choice. So one, let them do the cool thing, but there should be some situations, 30% of the time, a third of the time, where like, ooh, I shouldn't fly here, or I can't fly here. That kind of thing could be cool. Or you can use like force movement if you're flying. Force movement moves them twice as much. And I believe the bird ancestry, you could also just say no birds, no birds. We don't allow birds here. But I believe the bird one does have a built-in thing. Crits against you are vicious. Yeah, so like just use things with smaller dice. They're vicious, and you're going to fall and force movement. So there's built-in counterplay. It's easy to counter it, but I would first and foremost say let them have fun. But if they're using it too much and it's just an automatic thing instead of a choice, they're actually going to be having less fun. But if they can, like, if like every other common encounter they can get away with like being up in the air, nobody can reach them, like play that up, like, oh, like all these ogres, they're like jumping and trying to get you, but they can't get you, and like that'll make them feel good. That'll make them feel like they're having fun. But the next room where they're fighting kobolds, the kobolds are like, yeah, easy pickings, and they're like they're smacking them with slings and stuff, and like, oh, it's really dangerous to be flying against these guys. So I'll go ahead and land. So I'll do that kind of thing. Maybe double the reflected damage if the attacker is poisoned. Yeah, we could probably make it a little bit more interesting. So if someone's already poisoned, I don't want to like double punish them. Naughty child. What why would she say naughty child? Like when she's attacked. We could just do it, have it like once per round. Could just be like a really powerful thing that's once per round. Reflect. Deal. And it could be we could call it just desserts. Oh yeah, absolutely. Green Hag is the one from Hansel and Gretel. And maybe we can do this, because I do like that. Yeah, I think that's neat. So they're all D8. They all do something when damaged. I think that's cool. I think that is very cool. We have consistency, guys. Consistency is king. 1d8 plus 4, 1d8 plus 5, 1d8 plus 10. And 1d8 plus 10 might be too much damage for her. Just doing some 1d8 plus 10. Yeah, well, it's fine. We'll leave it. Night Hag will be spooky. Okay. Okay, so Hagify. Hey, Drake. Good to see you. Okay, so Hag's Curse. How can we deal 15 damage? I want this to be, I'll say 14 damage with one roll. D8, 1d8 plus 1d8 plus 10. Okay, that's fine. 1d8 plus 10. 1d8 plus 10. Drake. So you could see over here that this is a page. Oh, you can't see it. Let me drag this in. So if I scroll just a little bit, this is page 36 of 257. So all of my thoughts just go in like one big stream of consciousness document, and like here's just like some of the things. So I'll use like my phone. I'll just like type notes there if I'm out and about, or I will write them on a scrap piece of paper. Organize my thoughts. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. She needs to do something when she's attacked for consistency. Yeah. Hex Curse 1d10. One damage. Hagified. When you send 1d8 plus 10, and on damage, Vesta is made beautiful, and you are hagified. Evil Queen from Snow White. She's forced to dance in red hot iron shoes. She crawls into the swamp and becomes hag. Oh, I've never heard that before. Hey, good to see Derek. Any of you remember when I made like 2 Orcs from Daggerheart on stream? Yeah, man, I don't remember that, but that sounds rough. Is it because like you were slow and very thoughtful, Derek, or is it because Daggerheart is hard to design for, or a combination of the two? So like one, having like the charts, like I don't have to wonder like how much damage any of these guys are doing. That speeds things up, and just like having the vibes first. Oh, you're just slow. Okay. Yeah, you just got to get it out there. You just got to get it out there. So we had the vibes. So like these were the vibes that this took. Uh, so like this took like a minute or two. Like yeah, like this is her name. We wanted to do this. These sort of vibes, and then like I couldn't really think of anything like last Tuesday when I initially had the thought. So I just like I'll come back to that. And then yesterday I was like cooking on it a little bit, letting it percolate, and I was like, oh yeah, what if we did something like this? So. Derek, if you want to hop on and chat, you're welcome to, man. Anytime. Invitations are always out there. So she's made beautiful, and you are haggified. Okay. So and then this 30 damage attack. So this should have some sort of reach. Reach, and I tend to give most monsters reach instead of range because I don't need the GM worrying about like, oh, can I extend the range and there's somebody next to me and I have to roll with disadvantage. Like I don't want the GM to have to worry about that kind of stuff. We could just build that into the average. So I'll say reach 6 because we don't want her like be like kiting people. Like we want her to be a little bit close. Jealous outburst. And let's deal 30 damage. How are we going to deal 30 damage? With a d8. 2d8 plus 20. Oh, that is so clean. So 1d8 plus 10, 2d8 plus 20. 2d8 plus 20. And this is not going to have any range or reach, so you just have to be next to them. And this can only be done to verse a non. So you can't pick on someone like one individual too much. I think that's pretty fun. So like you can curse one of them, and they all these bad things. Maybe the big attack damages everybody that is afflicted with ugly. I think she's just to avoid all of that. I think she just steals one person's beauty, and then she can like change who it is. So I don't think she's gonna be making everybody ugly. I think like she makes one person ugly, and then she can heavily damage everybody else. Because like if you've stolen someone's beauty and like they are making you beautiful, you don't really want to be attacking them because like in my mind it makes sense that the magic doesn't work that way. If they die, then you have to like redo the curse. You have to figure all this other thing out. So like yeah, that just sort of seems to make sense to me. Okay, just that. So she's cursing someone, so a little bit of damage and then big damage to other people. So if she has to move, she's gonna have to move and then curse someone else probably. I kind of like how that is. Okay, so when bloodied, then last stand, she's level 8. So it's gonna be 80 hit points. Hey Mal. Suggest regarding hags, usually you should be able to fight 3 being 2 covenants. So if I will have to use them, I'll put the 3 with the right level. Nimble is designed to have 1 to 3 enemies for each party member. Is it possible to do encounters with less without breaking the counter? You can't. Like the more the action economy favors the heroes, the wonkier it gets. So if there's fewer monsters, each one of those has to deal so much damage in order to keep up the expected amount of pressure for it to not just be like an easy like walkway encounter. To where like they could just one shot someone. So you have to be careful about that, or it's a cakewalk. Okay. Can you put say 3 plus 1 or 2 plus 2 level? I'm not sure what that last part means. Nimble Foods. Do you do a lot of unique self-reference? Yes. Like if it makes sense. So if there are any conditions, like common conditions you can use, so use that. So like there's poisoned and disadvantaged, prone, that kind of thing. But like things that like only make sense in this context, yeah, just give them a thing. Like and like it thematically makes sense. Like for instance, I point to Terran's. I've got Terran's Vagabond. His berserker or barbarian or whatever fighter has like, oh, he's immune to or advantage against like mind altering effects. And I initially I was thinking like, oh man, that's such a dumb idea. Why would the barbarian of all people have that? Then the name of it like made so much sense. Uh, you can't be charmed, confused, or compelled to act against your will. Like why would the barbarian get that? And then reading the name, mindless rancor. Yeah, okay. Now all of a sudden it makes sense. So why does it make sense that, for instance, like a sea hag? Why would a sea hag of all creatures silence you and just deal wounds directly? Well, she makes you drown. She just like magically manifests like water into your lungs or makes you choke, or like whatever, like something like that. Like that kind of thing sort of feels kind of cool. And it can explain it. And the GM can say like, "You are drowning now." Like what? Yeah, you're silenced. Oh, that makes sense. So not a lot, but when it makes sense. When it makes sense. What if Stealing Beauty increases stat for the hag? That was the best stat for the target stolen from if she has moves, abilities. Yeah, so that's a cool idea for like a video game. But if you have too much of that kind of stuff, like all of a sudden the GM has no idea what to do and it's super confusing and this and that. Okay, so I think we're probably not going to do that. But I do like the idea. I think Ayaldi, if crit, you give her a bunch of damage reflected at her, but she can't be beautiful for a while. I think maybe the make beautiful comes down to the mechanics first or fiction first. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it needs to make sense. It definitely needs to make sense. If someone had breath water cast on them, would drowning stop working? Oh, like if they could breathe underwater? Yeah. So so for me, that's a good question. So there are. So let me go to the core rules. And I'll show you something. Where is it? Yeah, so I think this is how I would handle that. So like one of the backgrounds is where is it? Secretly undead. Unnatural resilience. You are immune to disease and do not need to eat, drink, or breathe. So for instance, like there isn't really like a breathe underwater spell, as far as I know. But if you're secretly undead, I think it would feel really cool. Like, oh look, I picked like here's my hero and he's secretly undead. Here's my ring. He's secretly undead, and like up until now, like that hasn't really mattered. But like, oh yeah, like she tries to cast this thing on you, and you feel your non-existent lungs fill with water, but you don't need to breathe. You're immune to that. You're not silenced. Like, oh, that's so cool. So I would probably rule it that way. I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Is drowning ability prescriptive or descriptive? I think a bit of both. I don't know. Come, come, chat with me on Discord. Come join. I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on that. Yeah. Maybe we both. I don't know. It's a cool mechanic. It's a cool mechanic and a cool flavor. And if someone is somehow immune to drowning, then yeah, you're immune to drowning. Cool. Okay, so I think when she is crit, don't look at me, I'm hideous. Maybe not that exactly. I keep saying that, but again, just as we're developing, everything is a draft. Okay, so when crit, and hag's curse. And Hagify and Vesha is Vesha's. Okay. I think this is cool. I agree with trying to reduce the number of conditions or try to group them in the same type. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not that you'll be facing like I'm gonna face a cockatrice and a hag and a this and a that and like all these different things all at the same time. But like, you know, the GM does something and he says, "Oh, you're drowning now," or like you're terrified now. What's that? Oh, it's this. Okay, that's cool. So for instance, like Dravok, the all-seeing tyrant, this guy, he's got a really cool ability. Like when you hear it, I think at least when you hear it, like right away it makes sense. 5d10 psychic damage and terrified. You are frightened. Okay. And I think maybe we need to change the name of the other thing. And your screams give allies within 6 disadvantage on rolls. So like you are terrified. So what do people do when they're terrified? Well, they scream. What happens when an ally, the big strong, big bad berserker guy, when he starts screaming, when he starts screaming, it's gonna scare your allies. It's gonna scare your allies too. But if they're way over there, it's less of a problem. Yeah, about VTTs, yeah, like I am not developing this to be a video game. If it's possible to play it in a VTT, great. But this is a TTRPG first and foremost, primarily. So if my character is mute, I do not scare my allies. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, my character can't do this, or like if GM wanted to, like maybe like you just start like you're a construct and your voice box is removed, but like you just start like vibrating and like shaking in this really really terrible way, and like that scares that scares people. So I don't know if you guys have ever like plugged in a thing and it like makes like some sort of noise. No, not at all, not at all. Great comments, great questions. So like sometimes like, you know, the electronic thing starts to make a weird noise and you, oh, I need to unplug that right now. It's not talking, but it's making some weird noise. So I think I'm okay with leaving it open for the GM to do whatever is coolest. I think I'm okay with that, and but at the same time I'm open to be convinced that that's a dumb approach. Why do I think that? Why do I say that? Because if they're fighting Dravok, the all-seeing tyrant, and the fight's going like really poorly for the heroes, like Dravok is winning, and then he terrifies the robot guy, then like I have the freedom to say like, oh, robot guy, you can't scream. You can't scream. So like, yeah, you could just ignore this effect. Like that's really cool. Or if on the other hand, like it gives the GM like a little bit more room to make sense of the story that's happening without like having to invent rules. This is priming us to the can I avert my gaze from the Medusa argument. I think that's different. I think that's a little bit different. So let me show you. The what was it? Banshee. Okay, so Banshee. So this is the Banshee that I've got. Okay. So after you choose turn, choose one Deathly Wail. One use. Breach 12, DC 13, will save, or drop to 0 hit points. On save, lose half your max HP. Advantage on the save if their hearing is adequately protected. So for that kind of thing, and this is a good one to sort of like include this note, I think. It's good to teach heroes to learn what they can do about dangerous monsters before engaging, right? So for the kind of thing like, well, what if I close my ears? What if I'm deaf? Like, what if I've got earmuffs on? Like, yeah, okay, then that should give you advantage on the save. Yeah, I think that's fine where it makes sense. And providing that direction where it's unclear, I think is cool. And it adds some of that that sort of Monster Hunter kind of vibes. Yeah. Vesha hackified someone. The flavor is stolen beauty. The purpose of this stat is a bit of tankiness for Vesha. Sharing native conditions seems less. It's sort of, it's like that. It's not only she's beautiful, but like she is also like charming. She's charming the allies into like aiding her as well as like this beautiful damsel kind of thing. Like there's sort of this connection between you and her if she has done this. Avert gaze, yeah, avert gaze and become blinded. That's fine. You can definitely do that. Oh man. All right, let's keep cooking. Okay, when crit and Haggify and Vesh's beauty ends. Okay. I'm just gonna put it in these kinds of things just to see, just so that I know it's the ability. Okay, so when crit, something bad happens to her, something good happens to you guys. So this is a win more kind of thing, and we want to temper that with a, but she also does this. Yeah, so like I think this core thing is cool, but I also at the same time I don't want to spend all of my creative juices on this one monster, so I might just come back to this later. I might have to come back to Vesha later. So I'll just jot down some ideas. Do something bad. Scare. Like fear is always a good one. You know, scare them. Scare whomever crit you. I think that's fun. Bloodied. What could she do at bloodied? Let's read her flavor text again. See if she has any other cool things. Sort of read it quickly. She plans to unleash a curse of rot in the necromancer's undead minions. Okay, so something with rot. Let's do a rot thing. Ooh. This was a good one. Really cool idea that I had while playing Slay the Spire or watching someone play Slay the Spire. So you can find inspiration all over the place. In Slay the Spire, there's a mechanic where that's called Doom, that one of the heroes has. So there's this Doom mechanic where like if you have 100, if the monster has 100 hit points, and that this hero can like give you Doom 30. So like, you know, if this is the hit point bar, Necrobinder, yeah, then your Doom increases to 30. So if your hit points ever get down to 30, you just die. But if your hit points never get to 30, it doesn't do anything. So I think a curse, like a rot curse, might be cool. The next time they take damage this round, deal plus 10. That's fun. That's really, really fun. I really like that. So maybe when instead of yeah, maybe, I don't know. We'll do a rot curse, and I'm gonna add a question mark there just so that I know to revisit it. Yeah. Okay. Let's come back to Vestige the Beauty. I think there's enough there for me to work with. We're working on a legendary hag. Some of the damage is redirected to the ugly fella. Maybe. Yeah, okay, so maybe this is like I'm picking on you in particular, like that kind of thing. So right now it is a bit of a nombo. So the Hag's Curse means that you're not like it's harder to interpose for that person. It's harder to help them. It's harder to like heal them because then it's harder to do all this stuff. But why would I want to interpose for this this ugly guy, this hagified guy, if he's not being attacked ever? So what if it's like "Rah, I hate you," and like she attacks him instead? So what if her thing is she really like she is sort of like the Hexbinder, like the bad version of the Hexbinder. The Hexbinder like curses one person, um, and like really makes their day as bad as possible. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's really kind of cool. That's interesting. Maybe we'll do it that way. So people will want to interpose for this guy. They'll get low, and like, oh, now I need to help them. I need to interpose for them. I want to heal them. I want to buff them. Well, it's a combo rather than a nombo, right? I do like that. And if she's ever cursed, it ends, and then she'll want to curse that other person who crit her. Yeah, I really like that. I like Rot Curse. Yes. Yeah, so she'll pick someone who's beautiful, and she hates people who are beautiful because they're beautiful, and she's old, and she's a hag, and she's doesn't want to change her driver's license because it says especially the beauty on it. So she just takes people's beauty. Okay, I think that's cool. Could be a really cool condition. Like it does nothing until you so not Doom, not like that. So Doom in so there is already a Doom condition. Doomed. Maximize the next roll against that person. So there's already a doomed condition. But like if you're just made fragile or you're made rotten or something, and like like the salt shaker is fragile. Like if the salt shaker was made out of if the salt shaker was made out of this material, like plastic case, it's not very fragile, right? But this salt shaker is fragile. It's made out of glass. So like a little bit of damage to this will like shatter it completely, but like a little bit of damage to this, like it's gonna be just fine. So like this is like a curse that makes them more frail, but they have to take damage for that thing to happen. Doesn't want to change. Yeah, she doesn't want to change her driver's license. So probably not exactly like that, but we're using it as inspiration. Is the last stand in addition to the 220? Yeah. So in the Game Master's Guide. So I'm using shorthand here. So in the Game Master's Guide, it does just specify she is dying. So at 80 hit points, this happens. And then last stand, so she drops to 0. She's dying, 40 more damage, and she dies. So like it's a second pool of hit points, and I'll write it so that it's clear. So like I don't want someone to have to read like, oh, here's how you run legendary monsters to know how to run legendary monsters. It's like here, actions after each user's turn, choose one. So like I want to make it as hard as possible to mess up. And then I think I can clarify this. Like when she drops to 0 hit points, she's dying. Okay. So I'm in encounter with 5 party members at level 3 against a group of enemies. Can you have 3 hags level 5? Yeah. So if there's 3 level 5 guys, you can have 3 level 5 monsters, and it'll be a tough but fair fight. So yeah, you could totally do that. You could totally do that. Or if the party is where were we? Let's go back over to monsters and more. So the party is 4 plus 7, 11. So if the party has a total of like 21 levels, so like 3 level 7 heroes, you could do a sea hag, a green hag, and a night hag. So you can mix and match. Or it's actually like trivially easy to up level or down level any of these. So let me see if I have the. I think I have it here. I don't need to open anything up. So if we go to the GM guide, we'll go up here. Okay, so if one of the hags is currently level 4, she's got 49 hit points, deals this much damage. If you want it to be level 3, so it's more level appropriate, just give her 41 hit points and 15 damage. Like it's trivially easy to upgrade or downgrade these, like, you know, within reason. But yeah, it's trivially easy to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, but you can have a mix. Yeah, it's very, very forgiving. It is very forgiving. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So I did want to do, what was the other monster groups that I wanted to do? Oh yeah, the Gelatinous Cube. Gelatinous Cube. We wanted to do Mind Flayers. Like, we'll have to come up with a different name. Yep. Mind Flayers. And I actually have like a whole group of them. Mind Flayers. What do we? Intellect Devourers. And then like a big guys. Like a big brain muscle brain guy. I think all of that's cool. So I've got some notes for those. What did I call the Mind Flayers in this book? What did I call that one guy? We'd already have a cool name for him. He's called Psionic Despot. Ulvek, Psionic Despot. Level 11 solo medium brain-eating aberration. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have like monsters of each of the classes for like various levels, so that you can make like an evil party or something if you wanted to do that. It'll have like one cool thing similar to the companions. It'll have like one cool thing that they do that sort of personifies the class. Like here. I'll show you. So we have a bandit mage. It casts arc lightning. Cranium flagellators. So sparks arc lightning. It's a lightning mage. Okay, and then I had carrion crawlers. Blue cube. How's the situation with this, with OGL and everything else? Okay, so I do have that open. So good question. So I have the SRD open. So this is the 5e, 5.5e, I don't know, SRD. And anything that, like, I don't want to just like come up with all of my own names just for the sake of it. Because if someone wants to fight an aboleth, like, just give them an aboleth. Like, you already have all these built-in hooks and knowledge of that. We can have our own twist, our own flavor on it. But some of the things like Beholder, like that is a specific thing, that a specific name that they don't allow people to use. So we have to come up with some other names. So Mind Flayers are one of those. So we can't say Mind Flayer. So we can't say Mind Flayer if we're going by the SRD. So some of these, so that's sort of how those are handled. So Drow, I think, is just a common, it's a common thing that we don't have to worry about that, or it's included. I looked it up why. So you could say Drow. Yeah, probably not right now, but I definitely could. Like I would just like do like cheat on crit and deals an extra d6 damage. Mage casts one of the cantrips. You know, Berserker, it does this. Like just give it like the level 1 features and like an appropriate, like the starting stats. Like that's pretty much what it's gonna be. Songwaver taunts people. Like 1d4 plus 2 taunt. Pathfinder remove Drow when they split. What are Drow called in Pathfinder? What are they called in Pathfinder? All right, let's keep going. So I've got some fun ideas for a carrion crawler. And what was I calling it? I was calling it something else, not a carrion crawler. I had a cooler name for it. I think it was like a carrion worm. Let me see if I can find it. Korean. Oh yeah. I had it here the whole time. I was looking at the wrong. Okay, so Carrion Worm. So we did this one last time. Lithogalus the Impeccable. Carrion Worm, level 4, large, 58 points, foul aura. Okay, reach to befouled. Creatures in the area are dazed and take 2d10 psychic damage. They take this damage again if they end their turns here. And then foul excretion. Reach 8, shoot a projectile and befoul the space where it lands. Dark Elves? Yeah, that's cool. That's right. Yeah, just give him one attack. Yeah, so don't worry about the reactions or anything. So I'll just show you. I'll just show you since you're trying to do it. Okay, so if it's a level 1, just go to level 1. Okay, so it should have 26 hit points and it should deal 11 damage per round if it's level 1. If they're fighting against an actual level 1 party, maybe make it level 1/2, just so that just make it a little bit easier. You can always make it harder, but it's you don't want to TPK someone the first time they're ever playing. Yeah, so just give him 18 hit points and he deals 7 damage. Okay, so 18 hit points and dealing 7 damage. So our cheat. He's normally going to deal 1d4. Let him deal 1d4 plus 4 damage. On crit, it'll be plus 2 damage. Or something like he on crit. His crits are vicious. Like that's an easier way to do it. No, so cheat. His crits are vicious. The Berserker. Let me get up with the heroes. We'll just go through them real quick. Berserker. Minus 2 damage. Minus 2 to incoming damage, plus 2 to outgoing damage. So instead of 7, he's dealing 8 damage, or 9 damage every time. Okay, easy. Commander. Single use. Let an ally make a free attack. There we go. Hunter. He can only attack at range, but he deals above average damage. So he deals 11 damage, but can't attack when someone's next to him. Okay, there you go. That's Hunter. Mage, just give him one of the spells. Give him, Fire Blast or whatever. Fire Dart, Flame Dart, whatever. Oathsworn. Roll. So normally it might be 1d6 plus 3. If you were attacked last round, 2d6 plus 3. All right, we're going. We're cooking. Shadowmancer. Every round, summon a minion. Summon a 1d12 minion every round. That's all he does. And that is on average going to deal 6 damage. Okay. So close enough to that. Shepherd. Yeah. So Shepherd. The first time an ally would die, bring him back to full. If they're level 1. So that's easy. Songweaver, just give him Vicious Mockery. You'll be all right with that. You'll have a perfectly fine time. And maybe make the Oathsworn be able to interpose also. Stormshifter, just give him a spell or 2. There is a Druid in here already also. And then the Zephyr, I'd give him 2 attacks. Just give him 2 attacks and double his speed. Bam. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, just that's it. It's not super duper. Not super duper complicated. I would definitely keep it. Nautiloids. I don't know. Maybe Derek's gonna build the Golden Pyramid Mega Dungeon. We'll see. No, we'll see. Nautiloids. Yeah, maybe. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, so these guys are sort of like an area control denial kind of monster, where like at the beginning of combat, like you can sort of move around somewhat freely, but when melee guys they get close to them, like whoo, stinky. So like they take psychic damage. You smell so bad, so they have to move away, and then like they're going to be shooting things all around the battlefield that are sort of like denying. So they're gonna, one, be making all the ranged characters move, so spinning their actions moving. They're gonna make they're gonna make ranged characters move. They'll make melee characters move, to like get out of this area. So I think these guys are not going to have an attack. They're just going to be befouling the place. And I think that's gonna be a pretty fun encounter, a very unique encounter. It's gonna be a very, very unique encounter. Okay, so for the mind flayers, so we'll get rid of this since we already have it up there. Okay, so let's check out what level are mind flayers supposed to be. Because if we want to keep it compatible with 5e, then we'll keep it the same level. So like you run a 5e adventure with mind flayers, just use the nimble mind flayer. You'll have more fun, and it'll be that's a cool image. Yeah. Cool. So they are CR7, which I have no idea what that means. CR7 means they're level 12. Okay. Level 12. You like that, Terry? Cool. That's good feedback. That's cool feedback. And like maybe like someone could run up to some of these projectiles and like throw it, like move it away or something, or like burn it or something. I don't know. So level 12. Sonic Noodlehead, we'll call him that. Brain dogs. All right. Intellect Devourer is a CR2. Wow. Okay, CR2 is going to be level 4 or level 5. Let's say level 4. Level 4. Then the Cerebral Hulks. I mean, these are going to be like a little bit higher level. Okay, so at what level do we want our heroes fighting Illithid boys? Let me go get my book. Okay, I did run this campaign, Icewind Dale, Rime the Frost Maiden, and there is a Squiddly Doodly dude in it. Sunlight. Wasn't there? I thought there was a Squiddly dude in it. Does anybody remember what chapter? All right, so instead of that, I don't want to flip through these books. There's too many pages. Okay, so let's go to Kobold Fight Club. We'll do Mind Flayer. So at what level do we want people to be fighting these guys? Not at level 1, 2, 3, or 4, I don't think. I think that's too much. Okay. So one Mind Flayer and let's say Intellect Devourer. Let's say 2 Intellect Devourers and 1 Mind Flayer. Let's say level Level 5. Oh, okay. So let's say 1 Mind Flayer and 3 of these guys. Okay, so level 5. It's interesting. So if we have 4 level 5 guys, what level? So we want them to be, I think Super Hulks will be maybe level 16. Level 16, a little bit higher levels. And we'll call the Brain Dogs, yeah, level 4. They're, because we want to have like a few of these. There should be like 1, maybe 2 of these in an encounter. And then the Brain Dogs, still a handful of them. And then some of these guys. So if we have 1 of these, so let's say we'll pull up the math. 12. Let's do 4 times 3 plus 12. Okay, so 24 divided by 4. Okay, so level 6. Level 6 feels more appropriate, like level 6. So level 6 feels pretty good. 6 to 10 maybe. Yeah, okay. So those are cool. So I think what these guys are going to be doing, so now that we have the level, we'll go and add the numbers to them. And we'll arrange them in a way that makes sense. And then we'll give like 1 more psionic noodle head, big brain. Like a little bit higher level one. This guy's gonna be like level 18. Yep, Mao, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Brain dogs. Okay, so level 4, they're going to have 49 hit points. So all of these, I think I'm going to take down their hit points 1 step. So we'll have 40 hit points. Hit points. 40, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a second. And none of these are going to have armor. Level 12, Psionic Noodlehead. He should have 150. We'll say 130. HP 130. Because if we take it down, then that gives us some headroom to do some neat stuff. Cerebral Hulks, 200. Not Siri. Stop. Nope, 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 nope. Stupid thing. 16. 200. Level 18. 240. HP 240. All right. Do we want to do like a mother brain kind of thing? Yeah, I'm really not getting into the lore and stuff a whole lot. I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, do we want to do a mother brain? Brain, what is it called? Elder brain. Level CR 14. That is level 20. Level 20. Yeah, probably legendary, maybe. Yeah, probably legendary. A level 20. So, or it could be a solo, like level 12 or 13. Solo 12, something like that. Mother Brain is from Metroid. Is it? I think that's okay. This is like completely different context. Is it? Yeah, this is gonna be I think different enough. We can always change it. I'm not worried about like all of these are like it's not gonna be Psionic Noodlehead. Okay, so we have the numbers for the hit points. For damage, 18. For the Noodlehead, he's gonna be doing 35. Cerebral Hulks, 45. Big Brain Noodlehead, level 18. 48. And then the Mother Brain as a solo, she will have 27 and 54. 27 and 54. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. And Contra? Oh, it's from Contra also? Yeah, if Contra and Super Metroid could do it, I don't. It'll probably change anyway. Okay, so what are the mechanics with these brain dudes that make them feel cool? I think it's gonna be daze, and they're gonna do cool, fun things against dazed targets. Okay, so Brain Dog. So I'm going to say that his damage is also going to be down one step. So instead of 18 damage, he's going to deal maybe even less than that. Let's say we want it to deal 12 damage. On damage days. And then he's going to have this cool ability where whenever you daze a target, spend the lost action for them. Mind control. That's cool, right? So he deals with just like a relatively small amount of damage for his level, but and he has a few hit points for his level also. Collective intelligence, yeah. And he deals a little bit of damage, but since he has few hit points, he has to have some other defensive things. So he's going to daze you. But instead of just dazing you, like you're just sort of standing there like, ooh, he's going to be able to spend an action for you, which I think is really, really neat. And you can like gang up on, so like if there's like 3 or 4 brain dogs, Brain Dog 1 spends an action for you. Oh, so okay, so we need to rephrase it a little bit. Whenever you daze a target or hit a dazed creature target, whenever you daze a target or hit it, because when something's dazed, it can't be dazed again. Spend an action for them. So something has, so this is the intent, and I need to rephrase it. I know that already. So the intent is, so you have a guy who has 3 actions, and the brain dog comes and attacks. You're going to be dazed, so you lose an action. Okay, so he just dazed this guy, so he can say like, go over there, and okay, you go over here, and then like brain dog number 2 comes and so you're already dazed, so you're not going to lose another action, but he attacked a dazed creature, so he could say, now attack the guy that you're standing next to. So he can attack someone who's next to him. It shouldn't cost him another action. So instead of spin an action, it could be perform, make them move, or make that's a little bit more clear. Make them move or perform a basic attack. Yeah, I think that's good. So we could just say whenever you damage a creature. No, yeah, I'm working on it, Brian. Yeah. Hey, Edward, going good. Making some squilly doodly dudes. Whenever you damage a creature, make them move or perform a basic attack. And then this on damage stays. There you go. Alright, bend. We wanted to do 12 damage, I think is what we said. So let's say 12. These guys are not going to be super strong, so maybe D6s. Maybe D6s. Coworkers maybe go home? All right. Hey, that's good. I hope that's good. Yeah, please leave a like. So these guys, yeah, these guys should not be super duper strong. So maybe we'll just do 3d6. We'll just do 3d6. 3d6. It doesn't. Correct. The compelled action should not. It does not. But the first time you are attacked by one of these in a round, you are dazed. So you will lose the one action, but you're not going to lose more actions than that. You're under the weather. All right, hey, I'm glad to be able to help you recover, man. Hope you feel better, Edward. Okay, so I think this is cool. So this guy, he's not doing a lot of damage, but he's doing some fun stuff. Okay, so this guy, Psionic Noodlehead. Okay, let's go here. So some ideas that I had for him were levitate, restrain a creature in air, cannot move, but can be moved. Okay, again, we're working on it. We're working on it. Squidlings, yeah, squidlings might be cool. Squidlings might be cool. Give me 1 second, you guys. Squidlings could be a cool way to do it, or a cool name to call it. Oh man, Terry, this is rad. That's cool. Can I show this, Terry? That's pretty rad, man. Yeah, so Terry had a cool thing. I hope it's okay if I share this. This is neat. So he had a cool idea. Like instead of like the stupid dumb cockatrice, like bald head, little chicken thing, something more rad like that, like a chicken dragon. I kind of like that. That's neat. Okay, so this might be hard to do. This might be hard to do, but it's a fun idea and it could lead to some fun moments. Okay, so levitate was one idea. Seed thought. And I think this is just going to be the name of this ability. Seed thought. Okay, so here I have a GM chooses the next target for you this round. Or one of you days, spend the lost action for them. That's cool. And then this guy could be Squiddly Grapple. Squiddly Grapple, and then consume. Big chunkin damage. Yep. And wound. Wounds. Ebony Maw from the Avengers movie. He mostly floated around and threw stuff psionically. Ebony Maw? Just in case. Ebony Maw. I've never even heard of this. He looks cool.
I am the Ebony Maw, a humble servant of your father, the Overmaster, the Master Lord, the Mad Titan, the Death Sire. And what he desires is my will. But your father is not here.
It's a cool smile.
And so my allegiance is whatever you desire it to be. You are the offspring of death.
That dude definitely sounds like that. Whoop, whoop. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I pushed some buttons I shouldn't have pushed. Okay. I'll have to figure that out later, maybe. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm pushing incorrect buttons, so I'm trying to fix it. Yes, I did. I had a lovely Sunday. I had a lovely Sunday. Working on some noodly doodlies. Some mind flayer kind of creatures. Okay, so this guy. Oh, and I think he does need a Psi Blast, like something that can daze. Range, damage, daze. Okay, there's Cerebral Hulks. Yeah, you don't want to push all the buttons. Okay, so these guys, advantage versus dazed creatures. So like these guys are like just big dumb dudes. They can't seed thoughts, so they can't do that kind of thing. But they can on death, big AOE daze. It's like why do all these monsters have such few hit points? Because like, you know, the heroes a good percentage of the time are only gonna have, like, they're gonna be permanently having like 2 actions. And that's I think that's sort of what it feels like to fight psionic creatures. Just like permanently like things are sideways and stuff. My lovely face, sorry. Okay, and this guy should probably like grab and hold. Grab and hold for consuming. How many fights do you see before each turn? It depends on what kind of fights they are, and how good the party is, and that kind of thing. But in the GM guide, there are guidelines on that. If you want to keep going, then the GM can just say, hey, look, there's this cool fountain, drink the water, and like, there you go, bingo, bingo, rest. Or you can recover some of your points, you can recover your mana, like whatever. So it's up to the GM is the point. As frequently as is interesting. Or go as long as is interesting. Okay, and then this guy's gonna do just sort of be like a little bit better. So Sonic Noodlehead, whenever you damage a creature, make them move. Is this guy maybe this one won't have Seed Thought because he's got enough going on. Maybe the Seed Thought is part of, maybe it's part of this. Yeah, Psy Blast, range damage, daze, and Seed Thought. So that's pretty powerful. So maybe we'll save the Levitate, like this kind of shenanigans, for like the big brain noodle head guy in the Mother Brain. I feel like she would definitely do that. That's totally what she would do. Okay, so Psy Blast, and then Squiddly Grapple, and then Consume. Yes. So I feel like this should be a whole ton of damage to make them scary. But they can only do one thing per turn. So like, yeah, you're grabbing him, and like he's licking his little lips. He's licking his beak. Okay, so he needs to be dealing 35 damage per round. So these guys are doing D6s. So 35. Let's go to 35. 35. Small flying brain? Yeah, it could be. I got some cool art from Mr. Earl Lan that I'm excited to use. Okay, okay, so it's gonna be hard to deal 35 damage with just D6s. So if it's dazing them, so how much damage should they be doing? Level 12. Probably shouldn't be doing 35. Like a lot of the difficulty is just coming from this guy's just coming from like not being able to do all your cool things. So 3d6 plus 20. Cool. So these guys, 3d6 plus 20. I do like that. 3d6 plus 20. Reach 8. We'll give him reach. No. Yeah, we don't want to punish the melee guys too much. We want them to be within one move. So instead of an ability, it's just going to be this. It'll just be like a status, just like a thing. Okay, so it is easier for heroes, for like a level 5 or 6 hero. So let's go to the, where is it? Oh, I've got too many books over here. We'll go to the creator's kit. So like the things that, like the creator's kit and the GM guide, like those are the tools that I use to make these monsters. So a level 5, if we're fighting them at level 5, like hero armor on average is gonna be 12. So like this brain dog thing, it's gonna be relatively easy to block, to defend, and it only seeds thought or dazes you if it can damage you. But this guy with Psy Blast, it's gonna be way easier for him to daze and seize thought. With 3d6 plus 20. Are your personal game skills going to be a part that helps people like how to determine when to rest or how to convert? I'm not sure I understand what that means, Ruckus, if you're going to ask it a little again. Yeah, I think so too. Kia ora. Hey, how's tomorrow? Low brain dude on hit forces movement towards it, and then when it dies, it blows up with psychic waves. Yeah, I think a lot of these are going to, like, when they die, they're going to like do a little AoE days. And maybe we'll just go and do that. So like, because he's dealing hardly any damage and has hardly any hit points for level 4. So daze enemies. Maybe they can create harmful tiles. Maybe what can? I think I missed a couple of comments. Maybe you lose int until a good rest. I don't like changing stats because that changes a lot of other things. Like it's going to change your maximum mana pool and all this sort of stuff, and it's going to change all your skills. I don't like dealing with that where like it's like the opposite of fun for me. Where like, oh, okay, like now I have to recalculate all my hit points. The noodle head, okay. Or bigger death damage to all dazed creatures. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Squiddy Dude's day. Yeah, I do like that. I do like that. Okay, so Psyblast is a really good attack, but I do want to have the fantasy of like, oh no, he's gonna eat me, you know. You know, I want to have the fantasy of that because I think that is a cool, fun, like, you know, spooky fantasy. But like the threat of setting it up and then the threat of like it happening. So my question is, when would someone pick Psyblast? Or why would someone Squiddly Grapple instead of Psyblast? I could just say like, I could just say, where were we? Like the easy thing would be yes, yes, it is in the book Ruckus, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, so like if you each monster is assumed to have one ability. If you give them more, then you know make them a little bit easier. If you give them fewer, then make them a little bit harder. Magical chopstick daggers. Grapple is 2 action control? No, I don't think so. Escape DC for level 12 monster. I did tweak the different various DCs because I did notice that they were a bit off. Level 12 monster should be a 15. Escape DC 15. Gain cover. Okay, so one reason why you might want to Squiddly Grapple is because it improves your survivability, like you gain cover. Maybe on Grapple, the Hive Mind gets a free assess. That could be cool. So what would happen if an enemy assessed? Like we're getting close to, if not already passing the line of having having too much going on, but you know, let's explore. Let's explore a little bit. Assess. You can ask a question. So the GM already knows all the questions. You could create an opening. You could create the next primary die rolled against the target by 1 this round. You could create an opening or anticipate danger. I think we do have enough going on with these guys, but I think an enemy assessing is a cool idea. We'll stick that in our pocket for later. We'll stick that in our pocket for later. Okay, so he wants to grapple. Just it improves his survivability. Hey Matt, good to see you, man. So what would be big Chongan damage for this guy? Level 12, 35 damage. So let's say 40 damage. 40. And we're going to say this is going to be 2d20 plus 20. Because it's scary once the GM starts rolling d20s. Let's see. Okay, so I'll go ahead and write this. 2d20 plus 20. Okay, so why am I second guessing this? I'm trying to think out loud so that you guys can see what I'm thinking and why. Okay, so is 3d6 plus 20 clearly better than 2d20 plus 20? Probably. It's not clearly better. It's better. It's not clearly better. So instead of 2d20 plus 20, yeah, it is. So instead of 2d20 plus 20, let's keep it d6. 3d6 plus 30. Three d6 plus 30 and 2 wounds. Yeah, this is pretty nasty. Okay, so Psyblast sort of sets it up. Maybe you can like make the hero walk toward you. Or just do more, like make them make an attack, do more damage. And then you can, next turn, you can grapple them. And then the next turn, jump down. I think that feels pretty cool. Cool. I like that. I like that a lot. This guy's pretty spooky. Okay, so he's supposed to be dealing 35 damage, remember, each round. This deals like 30 damage. This deals 40 damage. So like we have the average. So like if this shelf behind my head is the average, then one attack deals a little bit less, and the other attack deals a little bit more. This attack that deals a little bit less has some other benefits that could increase its damage utility, and this one that deals more has some drawbacks where you need to a whole turn to set it up. It's like all of these sort of ups and downs still keep its average around here, but makes it feel like a cool roller coaster kind of thing. And this guy, I think he's just gonna like grab and squeeze and stuff. So like for him to consume. And then on death, he's gonna do like a big psi wave. Copy. And he's gonna have advantage on. Yeah, Psyblast could also deal damage from the Seed Thought if you're not concerned. If you just want to like keep them at range and do that, like you could do that. That feels pretty cool as well. So both are probably more than average, not necessarily. So like a basic attack isn't going to deal a whole lot. Basic attack is going to be like a cantrip or a weapon attack. It's not going to deal a whole ton of damage. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. And if in playtesting, it feels Yeah. Yeah, cool. Al Gore. Hey, Al Gore. Yeah, I don't like too much. So like if like so 3d6 plus to 30. So they already have advantage on this attack. So it's gonna hit. Basically it's gonna hit and deal a ton of damage. And if this knocks them to 0, they're gonna take a wound. So this is already 3 wounds, right? So like this is already like pretty much dead. Like in anything else, you're gone, right? So I don't think we need to add more variability to this. I think we've already got a good bit, but like we're setting it up, and then we have a payoff. Yeah. How much damage would it need to be before we had 3d20 plus 20? Would it be 50? 3d20 plus 20? Yeah. 50 damage is how much level 18 guy does. That's probably too much. That's too much, Matt. We don't want to do that much damage in one attack. Although it does take 2 rounds to do it. Should it be scarier? So this is 3d6 plus 20. This is 3d20 plus 20 with advantage.
Consume.
It should be very scary. I'm doing it. 3d20 plus 20. It feels good. Psychic Scourge. Ooh, I like that. I like that, Luke. Could I use that? Yeah, the d20 do inflict psychic damage on the players. In the Creator's Kit, I do sort of advise against using like more than one d20. Just because like adding up, 13 and 18, like all like these big numbers, like it just gets a little bit hard. But like you're not doing this every turn. Like you have to set it up. Like you might do this once, and it should be very, very scary. Psychic Scourge. I do like that name. Psychic Scourge. Or maybe Psionic Scourge. That's not bad. Climatic moment for sure. Absolutely. Big Brain, it can have a big AoE unlimited void. I think like an AoE Psyblast is going to be what the big guy gets. Do I have it in here? Do I have Ether Quick? I really like names like this, like Etherquake instead of Earthquake. Reach 8 EOE. And I'm going to put a question mark here just to show that I'm not sure if I want to do it. Have you seen JJK? Nope. Don't know what it is. I might have seen it. I don't know what that is, though. Mind Flayer. Jujutsu Kaisen is an anime. Nope. I've heard of it. Is there a psionic scourge in it? All right. Well, we'll come back to him later. Look up Unlimited Void. Okay. I probably shouldn't play the audio. Is this going to be yucky? It looks like it might be yucky. All right. Yep, it's yucky. All right. You guys. I'm trying to put all that stuff in the in the creators kit. Okay, so Super Hulks, these guys should do some cool stuff. I feel like these, yeah, I feel like these guys are just gonna like just grab you and just bring you to the psionic scourge. I think that's what they're gonna do. But they're gonna like squeeze you and hurt you along the way. So he's dealing 45 damage. 45. Let's give him 2 attacks. Just to change it up. 2 attacks. D6s. 3d6 plus 10. There we go. 3d6 plus 10. Squeeze and hold. Escape DC is going to be 16. I'd like to have a name, so like squeeze and hold is descriptive of what's happening, but I think like something like bring to master would like clearly communicate to the GM like, oh, I see what I'm supposed to do with this guy. Does that make sense? He's supposed to grab someone and bring him over. I think these guys are gonna be large. Large. What is Tyrant of Akish? That is a cool name. Do they have 4 legs or 2 legs for the Hulk? Probably 2 legs and then like some big beefy arms. Those ones radiant aura ability is supposed to be able to remove wounds. Yep, a wound. I believe it explicitly says so in the thing. Radiant aura. Ending dying grants 1 HP. Ending days grants 1 action. You can use it will times per safe rest. Any single harmful condition. Yeah, you can remove a wound from it. Or from someone. Okay, I think this guy could be simple. This guy's going to be simple, and then this guy's got some cool stuff going on, and this guy's going to be just have like one additional wrinkle or 2. And then this, I'm not going to try to do a legendary guy right now because that's going to hurt my brain. I'm going to take psychic damage from that. Let's talk about, okay, so we got mind flayers. Let's talk about the gelatinous cube, you guys. Let's talk about the gelatinous cube. because like it's not an RPG until we've got a gelatinous cube. Okay, so let's see what level he is. Gelatinous? What is that from? HGT. Heliana's Guide. Oh, that one's on here. Gelatinous cube is CR2. Oh, it's not that big. I thought gelatinous cube was bigger. Level CR2, which is going to be level 4 or 5. We'll make him level 5. We'll upgrade him. Gelatinous cube. So this is more of like a trapdoor spider. This is much more of a trapdoor spider because they don't move fast, right? Speed 15, yeah. Okay, so trapdoor spider, level 5, damage per round 19. 19 hit points. It's going to be 58. We'll say 60. We'll just round it up a little bit since he's a friend. So what is the cool thing about the gelatinous cube? And it'll be large. It's something you can fall into. Or like you're running and you run into it. I think that's a funny thing. Trapdoor spider, invisible till stuck. Okay, so maybe the gelatinous cube. What if we had like a solo version of the gelatinous cube? Level 3 solo. I think it'd be fun as a solo thing. Then initiative is, it was great in the D&D movie. Cubes, they could be different sizes, do different range. Yeah, maybe. So I think the oozes having different sizes makes sense, but maybe not. Maybe not for the cubes. Maybe not for the cubes. Give me 1 second. All right. I figured out how to get OBS on top of everything, but now sometimes it being on top, always on top, is a little bit annoying. How do I make it not? I wish it was only sometimes always on top. if that makes sense. Okay. So what if this was I think it'd be cool if this was a solo thing. And then what happens is the initiative, one person is already stuck. I think that's funny. Why can't it just do what I need at that moment? I'm not sure what that's a reference to, Matt, but that would be cool if it could just do it. Okay, so how is the gelatinous cube injured? Oh, the OBS was, yeah. So do we want to make this like a whole event kind of thing? Like, oh, this is a solo encounter, this is a gelatinous cube, and oh, we have to figure out how to pull our guy out. Is it worth that? Is it worth that? Because the person inside. Yeah, how do you clue the PCs? So yeah. So this is one of the rare traps that maybe doing the trap section, yeah, maybe. This is one of the rare traps that yeah, maybe not a solo. I think it might be an unfun solo encounter. Oh. It might be a bit of an unfun solo encounter. Not that it's legendary necessarily. It's a solo encounter. It's in that you encounter it by itself, and like it's sort of a race against time to pull the guy out and not get pulled in, and like that kind of thing could be kind of fun. like it's slow, so it moves like 1 square per on each of its turns. So like this sort of persistent, like moving slowly towards you kind of thing. So it's not that it's legendary, it's just that it's like it's a puzzle that you deal with while in initiative. Sneaky, it's silent, yeah. Invisible, see-through. So encountering it alone is kind of the cool thing, I think. But it's an encounter typically in a hallway. Yes. Yeah, so maybe it's better to have it as a trap. How about making it very fast? No. That's not a, like, you have like a ooze like thing that's very fast? You could, but not in but then it wouldn't be a gelatinous cube. Like, oh, what if the gelatinous cube was like a ball instead? Well, yeah, you could do that, but then it's not a cube. Like, it being a cube is the fun part, I think. Not necessarily combat, more of a skill challenge. Yeah, maybe. It's typically encountered in a hallway, in a room. It's easy to deal with. Yeah. So this would be like a set piece encounter. So maybe like the gelatinous cube, it's just a stat block, and then in the trap section, it's like encounter the cube, and it does this. It drops down on top of you from above. Slurp it up, whoever's in the middle. Half the party is on one side, half the party is on the other side. One member of the party is in the middle. What do? You're in initiative. So I think it would be that. So this is I think I've convinced myself that maybe it should be a solo encounter. Solo encounter. Yeah. That's, I don't know. It's a good idea. Scales with level. Level X solo fight. Solo. HP 10 per. Okay. Initiative. This. So I'm just gonna write out like very verbosely what I'm thinking, and then we'll see where that takes us. This encounter in a hallway. One person. Okay, so we don't want this to happen to them. We want this. Okay, so this is a tricky spot. This is a tricky spot. So we don't just want to do things. Stop! I'm not talking to you, phone. So we don't want to just say like, oh, you fall off a cliff. We need to foreshadow it, give them a save, let them be creative about it, that kind of thing. But I would like it to bisect the party. I think that's funny. Well, so we'll figure out how to make it feel fair and fun in a second. So it begins in a hallway. the cube drops down from above onto one hero. I feel like part of the challenge of the cube is taking damage to try and pull out a party member. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Preferably bisecting the party, question mark? Okay. Skill challenge to get them out. Maybe this is a skill challenge. Maybe this is a skill challenge. Time to whip out the D&D movie clip. Was there? Let's see if we can pull it up. Is it honor amongst these? Themes. Honor among thieves. Okay, so maybe instead of skill challenge. Okay, maybe it's a skill challenge. We'll just come out right and say it's a skill challenge. That happens. That happens in initial order. Okay. Yep. All right. So I don't want to get in trouble for streaming the video scene. All right. So one guy's running and he runs into it. That's cool. Someone's hand goes in and it burns her. She lost an item in it. I think we might want to avoid that. Oh, there's a displacer beast. It's kind of cool. All right, we'll fast forward a little bit. She's got an idea. And they're going to jump into the cube. They jump inside. And she transforms. Yeah, like this is very, very complicated. I've forgotten what happened in the movie. She turns into a snake. She turns into a snake and slithers out of the thing. And then turns into a person. And then she reaches in and pulls him out. So would it be an interesting encounter if, like, oh, someone goes in? Like, so what's the interesting thing about this? Like, oh, we just pull him out. That was a fun movie. That definitely was a fun movie. I have to watch that one again. Is there a way to calculate how much damage is lost for a temporary dazed party member? Minimal damage is lost. So in the where is it? In the Creator's Kit, it assumes that you're spending 2 actions per turn attacking. And really your first action each turn is the one that is going to deal most of the damage for most classes. Depends on your class. But it removes your ability to defend, or like it does other things. So it's not that big of a loss. It does bring your damage down some, but not by a third, I would probably say, for most classes. Ghouls and goblins could use a cube as part of their tactic to lure heroes into it. Yeah, so I don't want to make a scenario. I don't want to make a quest. I want to make like a monster or like a thing, like this thing, like a skill challenge, and then like you could put this wherever you want. That kind of thing. So alternatively, maybe the monster. So maybe it's like, it's level 5 if you just encounter it here, but if you encounter it like, it treat it as level 7 if it's inside of a pit or something. Like something like that. This is gonna be this is gonna be a tricky one, but I think it'd be fun. Maybe we could design jam it and pull in a bunch of ideas and let someone in the community cook on it. On crit, you hurt the character inside and one can get stuck inside with them. Yeah. I think it just being like a mindless thing that just dissolves things is part of the fun of it being a cube. So like I don't think it's really doing anything. It's just chilling. Like it's just like, yeah, come on, it'll slurp them up and eat them, dissolve them. The level will determine the DC to pull a friend out. Yeah. Treat it as druid and the bug, like things they drew. Yeah. Just clean the dungeon. I thought the Gelatinous Cube would be easy. All right, so let's make the regular. We'll make the regular stat block first, and then if we can figure out like some sort of skill challenge that would be fun. No. Yeah, it doesn't need pseudopods. It doesn't need attacks. It moves and slurps people up who are in the way or who fall into it. Okay. So let's do invisible till invisible. Start combat. Invisible. Okay. Perception check. All heroes make a perception check. Lowest is consumed. Okay, so I start combat invisible. All heroes. So I feel like we're going back to the. We are going back to the skill challenge. All heroes make a perception check. Lowest is enveloped. Like the one who didn't see it coming. I think it could be. It's it is interesting in old school games. It's not only interesting in old school games. It could be fun. It could be a fun thing to do. Like it's a fun shared memory that new school people who have never played all the older versions and old school people can like enjoy and like sort of commiserate together. I'd like to be able to recreate that. I think that might be something that's worth it. So like when an old grognard says like, oh yeah, the gelatinous cube that my DM one time did this and this and this, like, oh yeah, and then like, you know, the this 17-year-old like new player, like, oh yeah, you know, I had this gelatinous cube and it sucked one of the guys up. We had to like reach in, and our arms are burning, we had to pull him out. Maybe it doesn't have to be a very long skill challenge. Maybe it could just be like a super simple skill challenge. Um yeah, maybe it could just be like a really simple skill challenge. All right, I'm going back to skill challenge. I think not a dex save. Do I usually make a vanilla version? So like for the dragons, for the red dragon, I made the complicated dragon first, like the adult red dragon, and then I pared it down for the young red dragon. So usually I think I do it the other way around. Because usually I'll have more ideas and I'll say, ooh, there's a lot going on here. And then I'll say, these three sort of get the gist of what's going on. Like 90% of the fun with like 10% of the fiddliness. Yeah. All right, so skill challenge to get him out. Okay, so all heroes make a perception check. Okay, so when to use this. So for all of the so it's not a monster. This is a skill challenge. When to use it. So all of the like traps and environmental hazards have a like when to use it thing to prevent heroes or to discourage heroes from backtracking. To discourage heroes from backtracking, I want to use it as a cave in. To discourage heroes from backtracking. Okay, so all heroes make a perception check or dex save. All heroes make their choice of a perception check or dex save. Lowest one is enveloped, taking so maybe we'll remove the preferably bisecting the party. Okay. That's fine. The cube already fell behind them in the hallway, but they don't see it yet. Maybe. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so it's in the hallway. The cube drops down from above onto one hero. All heroes make their choice. Perception. Okay, the lowest enveloped by the cube. Restrained. Suffers 1d4. Level d4. Damage. Okay, so each hero takes turns trying to get them out. Okay, can you also... yeah, it could be. Use it. Other monsters in the dungeon, use it as a living trap. I think you can't kill a gelatinous cube. I think so. I don't think it has 63 hit points. Like if you dealt 63 damage to this thing, it's just gonna be like, yeah, that's fine. I think the proper way to use a gelatinous cube is as a trap and not as not as a not as a monster. So should it scale? Hard agree with Crash Loop. What did Crash Loop said? Keeping it simple? Yeah, definitely keeping it simple. Yeah, it just comes back. Yeah. Reward creativity. 3 successes. So I don't want this to... I don't want the gelatinous cube killing my character to be a likely possibility. It should be a fun setback, not like... I don't think it would be a TPK. Monsters use a trap, know how to tend to it so it scales with their level in the fiction. Yeah, that's cool. One success per hero? One success per hero, maybe? Three successes. I told myself I wasn't going to do this. But I'm doing it. DC, use the master builder chart DCs. Travis fun twist on the cube. Yeah. Losing equipment could be the biggest threat. It is a big feels bad though. It definitely is. Like it's not a fun thing. One time I did unleash a rust monster against one of my friends, and he did not enjoy it. And not in a fun like, oh man, that stinks. It was like, this is stupid. Like we don't want to have that. What was that backpack monster? Animated armor, the ghost armor. What if people you pull out still have gloop on them that backpacks around until you get that off of them? Yeah. Obvious loot floating in it to see how much damage. That is a cool way to do it. Obvious loot. Your 5e campaign almost TPK'd from a cube. Okay, so what if it's this? I only think losing equipment should be a lure to keep you around trying to get it out. Okay, yeah, if it's a choice for them, like, I don't care about that grappling hook. You can have it. Okay, this is a good idea. Okay, so whoever's inside, so it should be relatively easy. Okay, all right, should be relatively easy to pull the dude out. A bit of damage. Okay. The temptation. There is loot inside it. So whoever the unlucky person is that gets slurped up by the gelatinous cube is the one who is best positioned to grab all the loot. Making it harder for them to pull him out or to take longer. Or others could just leap aside and grab it first. Like that might be a fun thing. The loot is actually a mimic. No, the mimic would die. The mimic would get dissolved, but that is hilarious. Yeah, I think we probably don't need any ongoing negative effects. Okay, so skill challenge. So maybe this is two different skill challenges. I'm starting to get a headache, guys. I didn't sleep too much last night. I'll turn the light off. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. Roll on the loot. The big O's are their eyes that get bigger when they on the loot table. Advantage / whatever to make it whatever. Roll on the thing to make it enticing. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese ticket blow machine skill challenge. Yes, but the wind has acid. Maybe the one inside is the only one who knows what it is. Or maybe he just knows best. This is funny. So it's changing from a trap to just be like a push your luck kind of thing. Thank you, Ruckus. All right, so okay, so let's say that the DC, an opaque cube, not opaque, but it's like it's not pure. Like even if something's like at the bottom of a pool, like the water's clear, but like it's sort of like okay, so let's say the DC is like 15. And the hero, and like this is almost certainly gonna be too fiddly, but let's say the DC is 15 and the hero inside rolled an 8. So they need to make up that difference in the DC to help him. That's probably too fiddly. That's probably too fiddly. We might have to come back to this one, guys. I think I have enough ideas here to where, like, if I sleep on it, the cube displacement effect. Yeah, if I sleep on this for a couple of days, I think it'll cook for long enough. But if so, like, this is what you call a crock pot monster. This is a crock pot monster. You got to let it simmer for a while, and then like you just let it simmer for a while, then good stuff will come out in the end. Let's see if there's any other monsters that we can just make real quick that aren't gonna like. They're not gonna. Don't cook a cube, yeah. Chimera, I feel like that's gonna be a solo. Dryads. Let's do a nice easy Shambling Mound. Let's do a nice easy Shambling Mound. We'll come back to old QB. Don't you guys worry. Shambling Mound. This is definitely just going to be a regular... What level is he? Shambling. Shambling Mound. CR5. Wow. Okay. That's going to be a level 10. I just remember that for some reason. Level 10. And I think it's large, right? Large. Ugh. Shambling Mound. All right, we'll use our monster builder chart. And see. Level 10. 118. Let's give him 110. It's just a Shambling Mound. HP. Immune to lightning. Are we keeping that? No, I think that's kind of dumb. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, a lightning elemental being immune to lightning makes sense. A Shambling Mound being immune to lightning, I don't know in what world that makes sense. I guess it's sort of like the Frankenstein's monster kind of thing. But I think that's dumb. What? Immune to lightning? Why? Weak to fire? Maybe. It's grounded. Actually, just converted Shambling Mound. Cool. Okay. So what? I don't really know what a Shambling Mound is. So let's learn a little bit about the Shambling Mound. We'll get some inspiration. Info. Shambling Mound. Shamblers. Tenacity Wilderness. Okay. Oh, it's a plant golem. It's a plant golem. Is that basically all it is? Engulf. Okay, I don't want to read all that. Okay, so it's a plant golem. So what is a cool thing? Maybe like rotting. Oh, TTING. Rotting plant golem. So I'll give it that name. I was looking for something and it just left my head. Oh yeah, the SRD is, so can we use Shambling Mound as a name? If not, we'll find a new name. Shambling Mound. We can use Shambling Mound. So since we can, we'll just leave it just so that if someone has Shambling Mound. Okay, it is a rotting plant golem. So if something is rotting, it could be stinky. It definitely should entangle. Should definitely entangle. Maybe like drag people in. I did like the engulf thing. Engulf. I think that's fun. Wine golem? I don't know what that's in reference to. Should engulf. Maybe like a whip. Whip thing. Or whip attack. Probably not crush. I think like wrapping. Not crushing. I get like wrapping tenderly vines in, pulling you in, and like you just sucked in, and you get added to the pile. I feel like that's cool. Does it start combat hidden? Maybe starts combat hidden. Maybe Initiative against this guy is a will save instead. Maybe so like you can if you can tell more quickly that this is a planty boy, a plant creature. Where's my core rules? Here it is. Okay, so this is a plant. So I think will save. No, not a will save. This should be a nature craft check. Yep, I like that. How often do you use immunities? Not too often. Not too often. More vulnerabilities are more fun than immunities, I think. I don't think it necessarily needs to be weak to fire because it could be like a squelchy, wet, yucky thing. Like if you've ever seen like a compost pile, sometimes they could be like a little bit juicy. Yeah. Okay, so it is a rotting vegetative mass. Initiative is a naturecraft check instead. I like that. I really like that. Okay, stinky. Should it be stinky? DC Swamp Thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's enough. Like, you know, whip and entangle. Vine. We'll do our Bulbasaur. Vine, whip. Drag people in. Yeah, I think this one pretty much built itself. I don't know if we needed to be stinky or not. We'll move that down to the bottom to like this parking lot idea. That's cool down. Turn up the initiative swap. Yeah. Entangle. Well, that'll just be part of the Vine Whip thing. Okay, so level 10, we need it to deal 30 damage per round. I think this is going to deal. This is going to attack 3 times. 3 times, 2 to 3 times. So what did we say? 30 damage, 30 damage, 30. D10, 1d10 plus 10 would make sense. What do we look like for 3? $2d8. So I'm trying to see what is the cleanest. What is the cleanest? 1d12 plus 3. Okay, what is his save? So anywhere I can, I want to use like similar numbers. So it's going to be grapple and reel in. So grapple and then reel in is going to be the thing. It's not going to squeeze. It's going to like engulf you. Like 2d8 3 times feels good. Yeah, let's do 2d8. Vine Whip 3x. 2d8. Grappled. Then, and this is going to be reach. This is just gonna have long reach. This guy its roots just reach out. Then pull in 6. Fully grappled creatures 6 spaces nearer. Any that can engulf any that engulf any that end up in your space. That's cool. What does engulf do? Engulf, it does a thing. It does damage and whatever. Okay. So a Vine Whip grappled, and we have to say escape DC 15 or any slashing damage. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Pretty fun little dude. Yeah, we get rid of the stinky. We don't need all the stinky stuff. Shambling Mound, rotting vegetable mess. I want to rename this to sort of indicate why is this a nature craft? Let's rename this. Maybe like hidden in plain sight. Something like that is a little bit more clear, but maybe not that exactly. Vine whip 3x. So if you're grappled, what does grappled do? Attacks against you have advantage. And you can't move away. Okay, TC. Yeah, this is gonna be cool little fight. Watch for weeds. Finish your swap for skill check. Yeah. Stinky would cause an effect, but I think we have enough going on here already. Can grapple from a distance. Yep. Grapple, and the next turn it makes a squeeze attack. Your barbarians are d6s, so this is a beefier boy. Yeah. Find it 1d8 and engulf 3d8. It's easier if you just do like it's one less thing to remember if you can just do 2d8 for everything, and then there's nothing to add. You know. Yeah. So if there's an enemy, if there's a guy, let's pull it in. Maybe not 6 spaces. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Because like you're engulfed, like you're engulfed is just you're just taking a little bit more damage. So like you still attack it. So like the melee guys that get engulfed, like okay, that's fine. Maybe they are blinded also. Something like that. Pull 4 spaces. Yeah, pull 4 spaces. Maybe. That might give too much counterplay. That might give too much counterplay. 6 spaces is a lot. Excuse me. 4. Yeah, maybe we'll do 4. Gibbering Mouther. Yeah, I've got some cool art for the Gibbering Mouther. Have I not shown you guys the Gibbering Mouther? Gibbering Mouther forces to actions on movement. Yeah. Here is the current Gibbering Mouther art by Santiago Rosas. He's a cool artist. Look how wild this is. Man, there's some crazy stuff going on with this thing. Yep, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, we could do a Gibbering Mouther maybe. Yeah, Gibbering Mound. Purple Worm. Let's see. I feel like this one is different because you're not just in a stomach. You're like wrapped up in vines and stuff. Great Worm. Swallowed. That's swallowed. This is more engulfed. So the Shambling Mound doesn't really have a mouth and a gut. Yeah, I think that this is different enough. Yep. It's hard to say no to yourself. All the cool ideas. All right, Gibbering Mouther. Let's see what level he's supposed to be. Oh, Fleet Mortals has one? I'll check that one out. I have that book too, right there. CR2? Oh, okay. Like, I'm always like a little bit sad when it's like a low level, because you can only do so much cool stuff with low level things. Oh, it could be level 5. Let's make this one level 4. Level 4. Strong as a level 4 guy? Yeah. Yeah, Gibbering Mouther. Level 4. 4 HP. 49. And what is a Gibbering Mouther? Abhorrent, crazy thing. Info. Look at this art. That's pretty crazy. Ground and okay, it makes difficult terrain. Failure. Okay, this is not fun. This is not fun. So you get to make a DC 10 Wisdom save to see if you can take your turn. That's not fun. That is not fun. Okay. Bite, that's fine. He has teeth. Blinding spittle. Blinded. So it's doing a lot of silly stuff. Let's see the Kobold Press version of the Gibbering Mouther. Is there one? Oh, their bugbears look kind of more like lions. Gibbering Mouther. The Gibbering Mouthers look like melted ice cream. Absorb prey. Aggressively ravenous. Okay, it's slow. It doesn't move very fast. They're chaotic. Formless body. Maddening murmurs. Okay, because it's gibbering. Yeah. Okay. Difficult terrain. Gibbering. Creator starts turn within 20 feet of the mouther, and that can hear the gibbering must succeed on a wisdom save or can't take reactions. It must roll a d8 to determine what it does on its turn. Roll 1 to 4. Creature does nothing. Yeah, this is such. I won't say it again. Let's stay positive. Rend Mind. That's a cool name of a thing. Rend Mind. Okay, I feel like it does pretty much the same thing as the 5e version. Let's go to Skirples, guys. Let's see what Skirples says about the old mouthy boy. Let's see what old Skirples says. CFG Jib. See Ooze, page 57. Okay. I don't want it to be just an ooze. This is definitely different than an ooze. So, probably not that. Let's see what Matt did. First Gibbering Mouther. Remember related auto failed any perception or examination checks? You're not really gonna be making perception or examination checks around this guy like that. I want to have things that like, oh yeah, like they're like 80% chance they're gonna do this. Like they'll see it. I don't want to have a bunch of things that like they'll never see, or that'll never happen. You know. I don't want to have that kind of thing happening. It's like if they're not gonna see it, why prep it? If they're not gonna see it, why write it? Champion stat blocks. I think after this one we'll wrap it up. 114. Okay, Gibbering Mouther. A dazed enemy. Okay, taxing taxonomy. Gibbering Mouther's wriggle and a math of. You know what? I think I had a Gibbering Mouther homebrew already in one of my past campaigns. Let me see. Because in Shadow, the Critical Role campaign, that I did, Call of the Netherdeep, there was a Gibbering Mouther encounter, and that was pretty cool. Okay, yeah, I've got the let me put old Vagabond back. I've got the Pathfinder Bestiary here also. Does it do anything different, or is it just like Blinding Spit and you can't take your turn? Blinding Spit, difficult terrain, can't take your turn. That feels unfun. It's just can't, and you don't want to have that many can'ts. You want it to be fun also. Gelatinous cube, genies, ghost. Guys, I'm really happy with my ghosts, by the way. Gibbering Mouther. All around vision, can't be flanked, amorphous, malleable, immune to precision damage. I don't know what that means. And critical hits. Oh, immune to critical hits. That is an interesting take. I don't know why it would be immune to critical hits, though. Okay, blood drain. What does the EX mean with under special abilities with Pathfinder? It says EX. What does that mean? So this is the mini. Blood drain. On a successful grapple check after grabbing, several of the creature's mouths attached to its targets. Each round it maintains a grapple. Ugh. It deals damage. Okay. Engulf. I don't think this guy's going to engulf. Gibbering. Yeah, definitely should make some noise and do something. What does EX and SU mean? Free action. Gibbering Mouther can emit a cacophony of maddening sound. Confused. I think confused is way better than not being able to do anything. I think what I'm going to do is like you make a save and I think what I'm gonna do is like you maybe like the cacophony makes you roll with disadvantage, and anytime you miss, the GM gets to choose a target instead. SU means supernatural. Oh, okay. Just magical. Okay. No creatures other than the. Okay, what does confused mean in Pathfinder? Is that a mechanical thing? I assume it's ground manipulation. Make it grow muddy. That's not. Okay, spittle. Okay, so Blinding Spit does stuff. So it's kind of samey, a little bit different. Okay, I know Flea Mortals is a lot of times very, very different. Chaos Gourmets. Gibbering Mouther subsists on change the same way most creatures subsist on food and water. Okay, that's fun. Living beings are especially susceptible to the reality-bending influence of the Gibbering Mouther. Reality Rend. Psychic damage. And they're dazed. What does daze do? What does daze do with this book? Support. What does daze do? I don't know. Okay, but if this happens, you're dazed. Let's see. Okay, there's no glossary. Pull. Pulls towards you. Permanent influence. All right, I'm a little bit disappointed by these. Let's cook up our own thing. Off guard, easy to hit. You spend your turn attacking. You have close include yourself. Okay. Archetypes. I've only been able to find. If it's, is it AON PRD? Is it this? So I've not found it super helpful. Of course, all the other extra stuff that I guess I don't know how to use it. All right, well, let's do our own. Let's do our own thing. Oh, let me check and see what the Gibbering Mouther that I made did. This is from my Call of the Netherdeep campaign. Gibbering. All pages. There it is. Okay, so we will do. So I don't want to have to make a bunch of will saves or intelligence saves. Would it be an intelligence save or a will save? I don't want to have to make a whole ton of saves because that slows things down. It's not fun. So int saves, when your intelligence is tested, it helps you see through tricks and illusions. When your courage or personality is tested as a will save. Resist charm or fear. So is it Gibbering Mouther's gibbers? Is it a trick or illusion, or is it like a charm or a fear? It's not a fear, and it's not charm. I think it might be an int save. Int save. You know what? We're going to do this because I want it to happen. Oh, you guys can't see. I want it to happen. Chaotic. Chaotic utterings. Enemies begun combat confused. All targets are chosen at random. DC, what, DC 12? Level 4, yeah. DC 12. Make it easy till 12 and save. Okay. I think that's fun. That's cool. And then it'll have like a bite slash spit thing. Then it's subsume. Subsume? Is that a word? Subsume? Subsume's a word. Yep, subsume. Warp. Reality warp. It should do a thing where like it can just like bend reality and have this creature be next to that creature. This might be too much. All attacks are chosen at random. So the benefit of this, so I'll just make a different version. Confused. Okay, enemies beginning in combat are confused. Their attacks are made with disadvantage. The GM chooses a new target for attacks that miss, ignoring range limitations. So that could be like the cool reality warping, like things are like getting a little bit wobbly. And maybe this is just like a permanent thing. Chaotic, and it's not just chaotic utterings. Reality warping utterings. Yeah, we'll combine those two. I think those are cool. Yep. I think blinding spit. I think that's not that interesting. Although like blinding spit would make them miss more often. Maybe we do have blinding spit. Yeah. Disadvantage 2. Well, like if they get spat upon with the blinding spit, then it would be disadvantage 2. So it's like, okay, you know, maybe we'll only make our first attack. We won't make like the second and third attack. And then you get blinded and you're like, oh no, and I have to make my first attack with disadvantage 2, and then now I'm hitting my buddies. And then now it's an interesting combat encounter because there's chaos. Like these guys are chaotic. It should be chaotic and not just like, oh, I skip my turn. Oh, I don't get to play. That's not chaotic. That's boring. That's frustrating. But like, ooh, who am I going to hit? What's going to happen? Can I hit the monster that I'm trying to hit, or I'm going to hit an ally? Or another monster if the GM wants to be nice. And we can say easier, harder. Choose another enemy to be struck. There we go. Some cool ways for the GM to tweak it a little bit. Yep. How often is the right play to just spend all your actions retrying to save until you succeed? I don't know. I think we're not gonna have a save for this because it doesn't really feel like it doesn't feel like charm or an illusion. It's just like, oh no, there's reality is doing wonky things. So it feels like this should just be something that happens. And because of this, so Gibbering Mouther should have 49 hit points and deal 18 damage. I'm going to step it down twice to 34 hit points. And then he's going to be dealing 13 damage. That feels pretty chaotic. 13 damage with a 1 roll. I think the most chaotic... the most chaotic die is the D4, so it's going to be 1d4 plus 10. on crit. Blinded. It should do something on crit and on miss. So maybe on miss, blinded. All right, so you don't get hit by the, you're not bit. On miss, blinded. On crit. What else could it be on crit? Let's see. Maybe something else happens on crit. Maybe on crit it's vicious. Maybe. Let's look at the. I like to look at the conditions page. On crit. Deafened. Why down 2 steps and not 1? Because great question. Because the confusion thing reduces the incoming damage, so there's less damage than expected, and it makes them often attack their enemies or their allies. So it's sort of like it's a double thing. So just being poisoned is one thing, but poisoned and this is like it's 2 things. So it's sort of like 2 separate abilities. Because mouth noises, deafened. What is just on miss or crit blinded? No, I don't want to daze them also. Maybe prone. I miss prone on crit blinded. That feels cool because like the ground is doing this like wacky warpy thing. On crit, swap places with another creature. Ooh, that is interesting. That is interesting. That feels more chaotic than prone. Yeah, all of these are great options.
Gnashing teeth, blighting spittle.
This feels fun. Reach any. So like you're just around here, like it's just like just warping reality, and like, oh, who knows what's going on. Is the intention that missed attacks stick with the same damage roll? No, it stays the same. So if it's normally like 1d6 plus 5, and you roll a 1, then it would be 1 plus 5, 6 damage to whatever. Yeah. I like this. I think this is fun. This is really cool. I'm excited about the Gibbering Mouther now, guys. I like it. I like it a lot. How do you decide the best features to include from your options? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just part of the design process. Like making a bunch of end saves didn't feel right. Prone felt pretty good because it could give you advantage and you're more likely to blind them. Blinding on 50% of the time, like, does it make sense if you're blinded when you miss or crit? It doesn't really make sense, which for this kind of chaotic thing might be fine. But like, if this thing is trying to bite you, but you like back up and it misses, well, the spittle still gets you, right? So you're blinded if it misses. And on crit, like something wacky happens. You swap places with another creature. I don't know. It makes sense. Already better than any Gibbering Mouther you've seen. All right, well, that's cool, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Deafen would protect. Crit. Yeah. The monster. Yeah, but the point, so no reason to keep the name. Like, would another name be fine? Yes, but if I'm running Call of the Netherdeep and it calls for in Nimble and it calls for a Gibbering Mouther, like it'd be cool to just have one, So that's why I'm doing that. Because like there's so much great content out there. Why file off the serial numbers and names of everything? Like, why not like just use the name that's there? People already know it, and like, ooh, cool, a Gibbering Mouther. Like there's already some coolness built in there. If you want to invent a new car, like if like, all right, I have a new invention and it takes you places. Like, oh, kind of like a car. No. Instead of wheels, this thing has feet, and instead of a steering wheel, it has it just follows like whichever way your eyeballs go. And instead of a seat, you hang upside down from your toes. And like, why do you have to change everything? Why not just like make it a car but cooler? So if there are already schemas that people understand and can attach to, use those. Like don't throw that away willy-nilly. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. And thank you guys so much for hanging out while we design some monsters. I think that's it. I think we've designed some monsters. I'm gonna eat a snack, and then maybe keep working for a little bit longer later, but maybe off stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and for your ideas and encouragement and support. See ya.